Episode 3 of The Last Night at Tremore Beach begins with Alex recalling how his mother had called him special. She mentioned that he had the intuition she, her mother, and her great-aunt had. His mother emphasized that the intuition was meant to help him, not scare him. Back in the present, Alex tells this to Judy and expresses his fear that somebody might be trying to hurt Leo and Maria. Leo and Maria arrive just as Alex hides in the shed, and Judy tells them they hadn't heard anyone breaking into their house. They then invite Alex's kids for a boat ride. While the kids are with Leo and Maria, Alex goes to the police to ask about the robberies, expressing concern about safety in his area, though the police reassure him that nothing really ever happens in Tremore. Later, we learn that Leo had been in Brazil and owned 4 boats but had never encountered any issues. During lunch, they notice Alex's visit to the police, which seems suspicious. Alex takes the kids to a cave, and his former wife calls, expressing doubts about his ability to care for their children. The call reveals lingering tension between them. Bruno then stops in the cave, frightened, and reveals that he saw someone, a monster, who wanted to hurt him, leaving him scared. That night, Judy has a nightmare, and Alex tries to calm her before composing a piece titled For Judy. While working on it, he plays a wrong note and envisions Judy bound inside the piano, begging someone not to kill her. In the vision, his mother tells him to leave, echoing a memory of her urging him to leave the house when it wasn't too late. The next morning, Alex doesn't tell Judy about the dream but assures her he doesn't want to lose her. After Judy leaves for work, he sees Leo and Maria getting an alarm system installed. Alex goes over, explains his visions to Leo, who is skeptical until Alex mentions Leo and Maria's wedding date, which he remembers from his vision. Alex then receives a call from the realtor, who explains that the previous tenant was an ornithologist who had to leave suddenly, which explains the bones in the basement. Alex also learns that the man had a physical altercation with Leo and Maria before leaving. He decides to find the former tenant. The man tells Alex that while observing migratory birds, he accidentally spied on Leo and Maria, noticing they addressed each other with different names, Alicia and Alvaro. He later saw 4 armed men visiting them. The man also mentions that Leo has a gun hidden in the greenhouse. Alex buys some equipment and calls Leo, using the alternate names in a fabricated story, which causes tension between Leo and Maria. Unable to sit still, Alex sneaks into the greenhouse, triggering the alarm. Leo finds him and, in response, takes Alex sailing to explain their story. Leo reveals that Souza, a Brazilian drug lord, used intermediaries to transport drugs, controlling many ports and airports. Alicia Blanchard was one such intermediary. Caught, she had the option to testify against Souza in exchange for a new identity or face jail. Leo, her public attorney, fell in love with her, and they changed their identities with Interpol's help. They even faked their deaths to avoid Souza's wrath. Souza eventually disappeared, suspected of hunting them for revenge, and the armed men the ornithologist saw were Interpol agents trying to dismantle Souza's network. However, Souza was killed, and Maria had recognized his corpse in a photo. Leo discards the gun, saying he should have gotten rid of it long ago. He tells Alex that when Alex came to fix the basement pipe, he likely noted the dates and concocted a horror story around them. Back home, Judy questions Alex, and he admits he might be wrong about foreseeing the future. He tells her about the vision of her being tied up, which prompts Judy to ask for more details. She seems to recognize something in his description, goes to a room, and weeps. Alex, feeling he has upset her, tries to ignore the visions, until he sees a van with men approaching the area and notices a tornado forming in the distance. It begins to rain fish, and Maria, injured, approaches Alex for help. He sees Leo being shot and the van heading toward his house. Alex wakes everyone, urging them to leave, only to realize it was another vision. Believing he is going mad like his mother, he reveals what he saw to Judy. Judy then asks him to describe his vision of her and reveals that she had once been dead, exactly as Alex described. The big reveal is that Maria's past is about to catch up with her, though it's somewhat underwhelming. The episode maintains its thread of mystery with Alex's visions, but at times it feels chaotic. The direction of the show isn't clear until the final scenes, where it's hinted that Alex's visions might truly be premonitions. Alex's reaction to possibly suffering from a mental illness isn't entirely convincing, leaving the premonition theory as the primary angle. The lingering questions are about Judy's past and how Alex will protect everyone, or will he even?